My wife won a $9 million jackpot, filed for divorce, and kicked me out, but she forgot about the prenup her parents forced me to sign before our marriage. I, 35 am, come from a simple background. My parents live in a quiet suburb, and I grew up in a small 3-bedroom house that always smelled like fresh laundry and home-cooked meals. After high school, I took a series of odd jobs, bartending, helping at my uncle's hardware store, eventually managing a local sporting goods shop. It wasn't glamorous, but it was honest. My wife, on the other hand, came from a world I'd never experienced. Her parents owned multiple properties, drove fancy cars, and hosted large, ostentatious parties a few times a year. Let's call them my father-in-law, FIL, and mother-in-law, Mael. My FIL was a tall, imposing figure, socially and physically, exuding a quiet dominance in any room. He'd make casual remarks that were more like veiled threats or manipulations. My MIL was similarly skilled at subtle disapproval. Just one raised eyebrow could make people shrink. They were never overtly cruel in front of me, but I felt their disapproval lurking beneath polite conversation. After my wife and I got engaged, I realized how much her parents feared outsiders, nabbing their family assets. They looked at me like an intruder, despite the fact that my wife and I had been dating for years. Before we could set a wedding date, my FIL demanded I sign a prenuptial agreement. I didn't have the finances to fight it legally, and I was too blinded by love. I kept telling myself it was just a symbolic thing to appease her parents. Love was all the guarantee I needed, right? The day I signed remains vivid in my mind. It was a warm afternoon at her parents' massive home. My FIL laid out the document, slid a pen my way. My MIL offered me coffee, almost like it was a normal business transaction. My wife stood off to the side, saying little. That hurt, but I shrugged it off, figuring it wouldn't matter in the long run. The contract basically said that any gifts, inheritances, or trust funds belonging to her family remained her separate property, while any major asset we acquired jointly, like a house or lottery winnings, would be marital property. I found that odd, but I just wanted to marry her. 6 months later, we married by a lake in a picturesque ceremony. My parents were overwhelmed by the extravagance, but supportive. I recall tension on my father's face when he greeted my in-laws. He'd always told me to trust my gut, but I thought love would conquer all doubts. The first couple of years went by without major incident. We lived in a condo her parents helped us secure. I paid monthly toward the mortgage, though the down payment had come from her father's gift. Looking back, it was never truly a gift, more like a tool for controlling us. But back then, I assumed this was just how wealthy families operated.